When was the last time you felt fulfilled in what you are doing? This is another interesting question to explore in this video. And just to add context here is, when was the last time you felt fulfilled? Not busy, not productive, not successful, but just fulfilled. That quiet sense of satisfaction that you have in here that tells you that you're doing what you know you're meant to do. When was the last time you actually felt that? It's an interesting question, isn't it? For me, it kind of goes back to what Jordan Peterson talks about a lot in the context of Jacob's Ladder, which is a story from Genesis, and that means that humans find joy and fulfillment in the progression towards a goal. We find joy and fulfillment in knowing that what we are doing is meaningful in the present moment towards this goal. It's like when you're training to do your first marathon or to do a running event or something. You train for weeks, months, however long it is. Race day comes, you finish it, you feel great. And then when all the muscle soreness wears off, you kind of forget about it afterwards, and then that's it. But working towards achieving that goal, in that example, finishing your first marathon, dominates your thoughts and dominates everything you do throughout your training period for a length of time, and then you achieve it, and then in a blink of an eye, it's gone. What's next? Well, that's maybe you felt the same way in yourself through pursuing goals that you have. Well, the solution is, according to Jordan Peterson, is that we need a series of ever-expanding goals that is impossible to fulfill. We need to be on an infinite quest towards an infinite goal, so that whenever we achieve one goal, immediately we know what the next goal is, which is always bigger and better. And then we pursue that goal, and then we achieve it, and instantly bigger, better, bigger, better, bigger, better. And we're on this quest until we take our last breath. And by doing so, we do have meaning and fulfillment in what we do in the present moment of time. The problem is, though, and this is a big point to consider, is if you imagine climbing a ladder, what if you're climbing the ladder up the wrong wall, and you eventually progress and set all of these goals, only to wake up and realize one day that while in the present moment you had the fulfillment because you doing the tasks, you achieving your short-term kind of moment-to-moment goals and things, that you wake up one day and you realize that everything that you've sacrificed on the quest to achieve this goal was not worth it, and then you potentially wasted your life, which is a common thing for people who work at a company. They sacrifice time with their family, their partner, their kids. They sacrifice time with their friends. They're always prioritizing work or the next prospect or the next whatever it is. And then they wake up one day 20, 30 years later, realize they've reached a limit in the company. They're not going to progress any further. They realize they've achieved all they're going to do at the company. They realize the company has no loyalty to them. And then they realize that in the process of pursuing this quest for a company that's not loyal to them or doesn't care about them anymore, and actually never has, they've sacrificed their family. They've sacrificed all of the things in life to pursue a meaningless goal. That's a very common thing that happens. Well, the solution here is you need to make sure that your ladder is up the right wall. And what's the right wall? Well, it's the pursuit of something transcendent, something greater than money. For Christians, it would be the pursuit of Christ-likeness, rooted in some kind of eternal vision that you have. You are working to do God's work, which gives everything you do intrinsic meaning, and you kind of enact this. You work towards your eternal vision by applying Christ-likeness in your day-to-day, moment-to-moment decision actions of doing the best you can do all the time, not cutting corners, even if no one's watching or no one will notice. It's operating the way on love, having love as a core foundation in what you do. Love would be one way of describing love is excellence and integrity in action. And how can you be a blessing and positively impact everyone you interact with? Doing it for the service of others, operating in a humble service way, having an attitude of radical generosity of what can I give to you rather than what can I take from you. And when you do this, you will find inherent meaning in everything that you do. And because you're on that quest towards your eternal goal, everything you do will have meaning, and you will find that meaningful progression on a day-to-day basis towards a meaningful goal, which means you don't risk waking up one day realizing you're on the wrong ladder. Sure, you'll wake up and you'll have setbacks and realize things didn't go as planned, or this happened, or that happened, or something else happened, but you know that it's all part of God's plan, and you extract the lessons from here and you apply it to what you do next, and then you're back on the ladder going up again. So back to the question at the start of the video of when was the last time you felt truly fulfilled? Well, the reality probably is that whenever you achieve any kind of goal, you feel fulfilled. Because we find when you're working towards a goal, in fact, a better way to put it might be that whenever you're in the flow state, working towards a goal, you will feel fulfilled, and you'll feel fulfilled afterwards. The key, though, is will you have that same sense of fulfillment in the future because you're working towards some kind of meaningful, eternal goal? Or will it just be fulfillment in that present moment of time, giving you that short-term gratification and short-term sense of fulfillment, but in actual fact, you might look back at it in a few years and realize that you have made a mistake. So that's all I have got for you, and I hope this gives you inspirational motivation to reflect on what I have said. That's all. See you next time.